Hello, this is Kamala Quali. I'm an acupuncturist and a Qigong instructor. And on this video, I'm going to show you a self-care release and massage, self-care massage and acupressure release that you can do to improve the condition of your intestines, to stimulate your intestines so you can use it if you're having any kind of digestive problems, even heartburn, but mostly gas or bloating, cramping, any kind of things like that for the intestines, diarrhea, constipation. I'm going to start out and show you a couple of massage techniques that I like, that I've learned from other people. The first one is just to use your hands. Let me just say one other thing about the large intestine meridian. The large intestine meridian is paired with the lung meridian. If you want to have a more complete sequence, you can do the lung meridian first and then come down and do the large intestine meridian. Or you can do this meridian this self-care method by itself, either at night before you go to bed, or even in the morning before you get out of bed and before you wake up, and stimulate your digestive system. In the morning is a great time. In fact, the large intestine meridian has most of its energy and vitality between 5 and 7 a.m. Okay? All right, so we're going to start out with a massage where we use the heels of our hands to press down like this. In fact, you can use one hand on top of the other, like this, from your solar plexus all the way down to your pubic bone. So this goes across the upper and lower intestines, and it's sending the energy down the central channel, which is an important energy flow. This particular meridian swipe like this, I learned from a YouTube video of Dr. Liu, who practices in Detroit, Michigan. He's a Chinese medicine doctor. Okay, so his recommendation is 30 times. 30 times swiping. And then after you've done it 30 times, you start from your solar plexus and you go towards your right pelvis. So now this way. 30 times. And then you go the other way. 30 times. Okay? Whenever you do something like that, stop for a minute and breathe. Let yourself rest. Feel yourself inside. And also you're feeling like, again, like I said with the lung meridian, in the beginning of the lung meridian affirmation, you're feeling like whatever condition you're working on, it's already healed. It's already healed. And then you continue to work on it. Now, most other methods that work with the intestines do some kind of intestinal massage. Circling. A lot of times it's circling in one direction, circling in another direction. You can do a massage that starts in the center around your navel and circles around, making larger and larger circles in a clockwise direction until you get up to your ribs at the top and down to your pubic bone at the bottom and over to the sides. And then you go from big to small, big to little, circling in the other direction. And finally ending up at the navel center. And when you're at your navel center, you breathe in with that navel center for a few moments. There's one massage that I like that I learned from David Crow, who's a Qigong teacher in Florida. And he calls this 101 turns of the wheel. You do an upper abdominal massage going from left to right, like this, so from your solar plexus down to your navel. You start with your left hand, so the left heel of your hand is over your liver really, and then your other hand helps. And you make a wheel. Okay, so each one of these, was one turn of the wheel, 2 turns of the wheel, 3 turns. Now, of course, he calls it 101 turns of the wheel. You can do it 101 times, or maybe try 20 or 30 times. What's nice about this is that when you're going over the top, you're going over your liver when you're here, and your spleen and your stomach over here, and then through the upper intestine. So this is an upper abdominal digestive. You're getting your digestive organs stimulated, okay? And after you finish here, now you do the lower orbit, which is from your navel down to your pubic bone. So like this. You're getting inside your pelvic bones and down to your pubic bones, and down here are your organs, your reproductive organs, right? Ovaries, uterus, bladder. So this not only gets the intestines, it gets the lower intestinal tract and your reproductive organs. So again, 30 turns of the wheel. And then stop. Notice how you feel. No doubt you'll feel a change. You might feel like there's just more energy there, that you're certainly more aware of your belly. And you've just increased the circulation and given it a lot of vitality. And if you want to add to this, there's 4 points that you can stimulate. I'm just going to smooth out my sweater so I can give you a good idea about it. Okay? So the first 2 points, so here's my navel right here. The first 2 points are directly out from the navel on a horizontal line. And they're 2 body inches, which is basically about 3 finger widths. So if I put my finger on the outside of my navel, that's about where it is. And actually, really, the best way to find it is that it's right on the edge of the rectus abdominis muscle. So if you were laying down, if I was laying down flat, and I looked up to look at my toes, I'm going to pop this muscle out, and you'll feel the width of it. And then you can relax, and it's right on the outside edge. Okay? So you press into it, and when you press into it in circle, you're pressing in and a little bit towards your navel. So straight down, try and see. Sometimes straight down, you actually really, maybe it feels a little bit more right straight down, or maybe you can angle it a little, you can see. So let me put a dot on here. And I'm going to put a dot that's on both sides. Okay, so you can do one at a time. Do some circling. And hold. These points are actually very close to the large intestine, and so they'll be stimulating for the large intestine. Then there's another 2 points that make this diamond complete. The first of the 2 points is located halfway between the bottom of your breastbone and your navel. You go about halfway, and just feel in that area for a sensitive point. I feel one right there. Okay, so it's right about in that area. And the last point is below the navel. From your navel to your top of your pubic bone is 5 body inches. So if you go in the center of that distance, and then in the center of that distance again, right, and perhaps just a little lower, you're going to be at this lower point, which is called the Sea of Chi. It's actually a very important point, used a lot to help increase vitality. And it's right in the center of the torso. Okay, so now you see my diamond around my navel point. Okay, so one of the ways that you can work with these points, especially like I said, if you're laying down, you could start at the bottom and work with that point, circle it, stop, hold pressure there, breathe with it, open. Send a smiling energy to your intestines. Thank them for being healed. Feeling grateful for this process. Then come over here to this point, which is the stomach 25 point, and do the same thing. And then you can come up here. This is called conception vessel 12 point, and it's good for it kind of works with this upper digestive area. And then come back around. So you can do a circular flow with these points. And when you're finished, there's a really beautiful meditation, very simple. It's called Douyin, and we learned this from Professor Liu, who is one of our teachers in China. So again, you take your middle fingers and put them in your navel. And then you take your second and fourth fingers and you place them just on either side. Okay. Again, laying down is great, and this is really a wonderful healing, centering meditation to do before you go to bed at night. So you're in this position, relaxed, and you just let your breath flow. You put a little bit of pressure on the fingers that are in the navel. And you want to go deep into that place of stillness and spaciousness inside. Sometimes I like to visualize that the whole universe is within my belly, all the stars and the planets. You feel your union with the universe, your unity, and go into that place of stillness, spaciousness, presence, and you just breathe and hold there. And notice any sensations. As you're holding and breathing and relaxing, you may notice sensations that either seem like they come from the point, or maybe they're just in a different part of the body. And you just want to trust that the body knows where it needs to heal, and the energy knows how it needs to unwind. And you're just watching that process, allowing that process, feeling a oneness with that process. And you can continue to do that meditation for as long as you like, for several minutes, until you go to sleep. But when you finish that meditation, you turn on your right side and you visualize that whatever the problem is that you're working on, it just floats up into the ethers. It just floats and moves away from you. Another symbol that the healing has already happened. I hope you enjoy this and that it benefits you. Thank you.